Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful Wednesday and a great week so far. Today we're going to be diving into Vechain, and we are going to keep you up to date with Vechain semi-regularly, so make sure you subscribe, you Vechain lovers, as it is one of our favourite altcoins, and it's an altcoin that I think still has a long way to go. You guys know that we have price predictions around about $1 to $1.50. I'm not sure where exactly it's going to land between there, but I'm fairly confident that it's going to get there. And we're going to talk about that in this video. We're also going to be talking about how high can Vechain's market cap go. And the reason that I'm going to be talking about this was somebody asked me a question in my Discord. The link for the Discord is in the description. Essentially saying, you know, how can Vechain gain a market cap potentially in the hundreds of billions if the supply chain industry, and that's primarily what Vechain is, it's a supply chain blockchain, you know, they certainly tackle that use case. How can they gain such a high market cap if the actual industry, the supply chain industry, is only worth around about $15 billion? We are going to talk about this, by the way, guys. We are going to show you that in actual fact, market caps can go a lot higher than a set market. We will be bringing up Tesla. You know, Tesla has a market valuation of over $1 trillion, yet the electric vehicle market is only valued at around about 162 billion. That was in 2009, so it's obviously, or 2019, so it's obviously gone up significantly. But we're going to talk about all that. Really, where I want to start is with the price. This roadmap that we've had for Vechain has played out perfectly. We are going to dive into some of their partnerships. You know, Vechain are absolutely killing it in regards to partnerships and how they're being praised, certainly in China, as an innovator and a revolutor. So first of all, let's take a quick look. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Take a quick look at where Vechain's price is. It's currently sat at 18 cents. So it's up significantly since the last video. Really, I want to cast you back to this video that I made in August. And this is when we set out a roadmap for Vechain. You can see here that we had overlaid a bar pattern from prior structure over here to where we are today. And it's literally followed that to date. We've had this Elliott wave theory in play for nearly a year now, and it's followed Elliott wave theory very, very well. And in regards to, you know, nobody knows for certain where Vechain's price is going to go. What people are doing, like myself, is taking the best educated guess that they can and adjusting their strategies accordingly. So I'm going to talk to you about why I think, you know, $1 is very probable, and we've been right today. You know, if you want any more reason to follow this channel and give it credibility, go and watch our prior videos. What we do on this channel is we make a call early, even if we're wrong for a period of time, because that's how we position ourselves as investors, and that's what people need to understand, that essentially the way to be a good investor is to get into something before everybody else does, even if that means you're wrong for a period of time. I don't know how many of you have seen The Big Short, the film essentially about Michael Burry and the 2008 housing crisis. He was very wrong and then very, very right, and that's what you want to be as an investor early. It's better to be early and wrong for a bit than late and right, in my opinion. You're going to make far more money doing that, and the best period to make money in crypto, I mean, fantastic opportunity still today, ladies and gents, was in the bear market, when everyone said that it was garbage and it was, you know, never going to come back. So we're going to get into all that. So just remember, this was the schematic that we had played out, and it's followed it today, and that's because it is following Elliott wave theory. And this really brings us on. I mean, you can just see how apparent this structure plays out. You know, you've got this wave-like structure. We've spoken about it on a number of other videos in relation to Cardano, and this is where people accumulate and distribute. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing smart money play this market, and they play every single market, and that's why Elliott wave theory is so present. And one reason I want to talk to you about why I think we're actually going to get to that dollar price prediction for Vechain within this bull run is based on Elliott wave theory. Of course, you've got Fibonacci levels that take you above and beyond there, actually, some of them, but your fibs also correlate with it. So what I really want to quickly do, short-term price looks fantastic, guys. All-time highs are on the way. You can see this is your typical structure. You'll come up, you'll break resistance, and then you'll go on to make new all-time highs. Come up, break resistance, and go on to make new all-time highs. And you've done that today, ladies and gentlemen, or you're certainly doing that after this ABC correction in your next leg. New all-time highs are literally around the corner, guys. And you can, like I say, you can see just how this plays out, and how, look at how this EMA is now acting on the daily. You know, and this is typical. You go down, you downtrend, and then it will hold you as support in an uptrend. And that's what you're seeing today. So things look really good. But what I want to do to show you how we get to this sort of price prediction. The laws of Elliott wave theory, and they don't always have to follow this, but typically they will, is that your first wave is the smallest, your third wave is the biggest, and your fifth wave is the somewhere in between the first and the third. That's true in traditional markets. In commodities, quite a lot of the time, it's actually a fifth wave that will outperform. Crypto potentially could bear those traits. We just don't know yet. In the video we made earlier in regards to Cardano, we spoke a little bit about, and we do have a video on when this bull market will end, when we talk about both of the main cycles, the 4-year cycle theory and the extending cycle theory. But really how we've got to this price prediction that we have, or one way certainly, was we took the first wave, which was around about 1400%. We then looked at the second wave, or third wave I should say, which was around about 3600%, so 3600%. Now, if we just take the first wave and add it on to where we finish this fourth wave, or certainly where I believe we finish this fourth wave, of 1400%, that takes us to round about 85 cents. Now remember, your third wave is typically, or your fifth wave, sorry, is typically bigger than your first wave, round about in between. So if we just, let's say, add, let's say 2000%, to kind of be out there at a bullish case, you know, that gets you to around about $1.18. Remember, bull markets towards the end are typically parabolic. Nobody knows exactly where this is going to end, but this gives you a rough idea of the kind of trajectory that you're on. And this is, your Elliott wave theory has played out to date, which means there's absolutely credence that it's going to continue to do so. So this is what we're expecting. Things look absolutely fantastic. On to the market cap question. It's a good question. It's one that I believe needs answering, and I've not seen anybody really answer it. If the supply chain industry is only worth 15 billion, well, Vechain's already at 11 billion. That would mean it had the monopoly essentially on the supply chain industry. How you'll get a market cap derived from a product that tackles a certain industry isn't from the net worth of that industry. There's a lot of variables that go into it, such as speculation, such as stock prices, you know, you name it. I mean, for example, Tesla's a brilliant one. They're valued at $1 trillion, yet the electric car company in 2019 was valued at 162 billion. So, you know, that means they would have a multiple of the market cap of the electric car industry by a number tenfold. And that's really how you want to look at something like Vechain. There's a lot at play here. Yes, we know with Tesla there's assets, there's all sorts of things on the balance sheets that affect the market cap and the stock price. Similar with Vechain, and they're not just tackling the supply chain industry. There's industries that they infringe on as a result of that, such as the fakes. The trade in fake goods is now 3.3% of world trade and rising. This is an article from 2019, so this would have significantly risen since then. You know, they infringe and approach every single industry. And the thing is, in relation to Vechain, I mean, they are so friendly with the Chinese government. That is a very bullish thing. And I understand that people have issues with that. Political issues. I'm not a political channel. What I am is an investor. Now, I won't invest on something that I think is unethical. People say that's a wrong strategy, but Warren Buffett was one of the, if not the greatest long-term investor, and he actually went out of his way to invest in things that are ethical and not unethical. I know what he said about Bitcoin. I disagree with him on that. I'm sure many of you also do. But, you know, you can invest ethically. And I think by investing in Vechain, you're not supporting any kind of necessary political power directly, potentially indirectly. But it's you know, I'm a big fan of Vechain. I think the technology is brilliant. I'm a fan of Sonny Lu. Another thing I want to add is, could you imagine, for example, Sonny Lu used to be the chief technology officer at Louis Vuitton. If Louis Vuitton said we want to implement Vechain software so that every single Louis Vuitton bag, you can scan a barcode and it will give you a lineage of. Now, I think there's already something like that in regards to it, but it would be more digitalized with Vechain. I mean, could you imagine what that would do for the price? There's a lot that goes into market cap, the individual coin price, and how it's valued. And just because the supply chain industry may only be 15 billion, you know, you have the fake trades. There's so much that goes on top of that. And Vechain could potentially be a life-saving blockchain. And what do I mean by that? Well, for example, one of the counterfeits markets is pharmaceuticals. You also have food as a counterfeits market, and things like you know, electronic toys and stuff that potentially could blow up because they've not adhered to regulations. Or but with pharmaceuticals, that can be very dangerous concoction. And with things like food, it can also, certainly with cross-contamination, and Vechain could essentially eradicate that problem. So there's a lot of share, the lion's share, if you will, that Vechain could capture. This is a tweet that the Vechain Foundation tweeted. Recognition of Vechain's power blockchain continues to grow. At the Food and Hospitality of China 2021, a prestigious F&B event. VET was honoured as the best innovation in food supply chains for 2021. Fantastic project, guys. Undervalued where they are today. Please go and watch our old videos on VeChain. It will give you a little bit of confidence in what I'm saying. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor and I could be wrong. I just happen to think that I'm right. But I would say that, wouldn't I? It's for you guys to make your own. It's for you guys to have your own opinion on that. But things look absolutely fantastic, guys. And this is where we're heading. This is a trajectory we've had set for a long time and we're following it very, very well. Doesn't mean that we're going to continue to do so, but there's a good probability if you look at something, if you look at structure and it's played out more times than it hasn't, the probability is in your favour. That is really all I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to love and leave you on that note. Remember, there is a link to the Discord in the description. We would love to have you there. It is mainly Cardano stake pool focused. You guys know that we have a Cardano stake pool, that we're trying to become a recognised and notable and active participant in running the Cardano network. If you've got Cardano, guys, feel free to delegate. The name of the pool is All In, but you're welcome to join the Discord. There's some great people in there. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Stay bullish on VeChain, guys, because it's got a long way to go and new all-time highs from where we currently are, which seemed impossible 3 months ago. I remember what the comments were like, but retail gets milked time and time again, guys. That sounds kind of wrong, but it's true in a sense. You know, they get manipulated. You know, it's only 57% back to new all-time highs. So we're there. We've been saying it for a long time. We've been wrong, according to many of the people in the comment section. All of a sudden, we're going to become very right. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.